Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd just slip in a really quick video here. I had someone ask about how much does homeschooling cost us, and I think they were either looking to homeschool or are homeschooling, and it just costs them a lot of money. And I thought I'd go in and tell you how much it costs us and show us what we use, and I'll let you also know about any of the resources that I do know about. But hi, if you're new here and you don't know who I am Amelia. I am a homeschooling mother. I have 3 children. We are a frugal family in the UK living off one income, my husband Joel's income. I have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old, and obviously the 1-year-old doesn't do anything yet really, but we homeschool our 9-year-old and our 6-year-old, and we will also do that with our 1-year-old when he's older. And this is what we do. Everything we use on a day-to-day basis is pretty much free or very, very cheap. So we do use a curriculum, and it is an American curriculum. It's from The Good and the Beautiful. I'll link everything that I say, hopefully, if I remember, down below. We use the curriculum for maths and English from The Good and the Beautiful, and it is completely free to download the curriculum. I think, I could be wrong here, but I think up until like year 8-ish, it's completely free. We just print that out every year ourselves. We have an Epson printer, and it is amazing. It's so cheap to run because you just get the liquid ink rather than cartridges, and you can get like 500 pages with a full printer, and it's great, and it's really cheap to fill up. It's like £10 for the ink to refill. We've had this like 5-ish years, I think, and it was about £200 new, I want to say, but I really recommend it. And that's how we have made homeschooling more affordable, by having a really good printer and finding free curriculums online. I will get out the curriculums in a bit and show you how they actually look. But what we do is we print them out, and we have these boxes. So this is our like homeschool bookshelf and cabinet, and it kind of contains everything we need for homeschooling. Our novels are more upstairs in my son's bedroom, and loads of books. And area 1 that I feel is an easy way to help you make homeschooling more affordable is books. We get all of our books from charity shops pretty much, or even there's a free bus stop of book, or we call it the book stop, near our house, where you can just pick up books for free. We use Maths and English, Good and the Beautiful. They are open and go, they're really easy to follow. It is just the cost of printing, which we get cheap printing paper from like a Tesco's, and we print it out ourselves. You can also have it delivered, but it is expensive to have it printed and delivered from Good and the Beautiful, especially with shipping. But you can also go to, I think one of my friends, she does the same, Good and the Beautiful, and she gets it printed out at an actual printing place, but it's still cheaper than it would be having it delivered. This is how I store my kids' curriculums, and it's like, and this is my eldest's English. He's got his like reading book, and then this is what the lessons look like. So my eldest, I think if he was in school, would be in, I think, year 4, and this is how they are set up. They're completely open and go. The blue tells you as a parent what to do, and then the black you read to your kid. And then, so this is the English, and you've got like, there are some bits I skip as well, because obviously we're learning about Claude Monet at the moment, which is nice. But some of it's very American and very Christian based, and we kind of take some things and leave the rest. We've got here like handwriting and spelling, and that's the English. Then this is his maths, and again, my 9-year-olds. So you've got, it's really easy to follow, and he's now at a point where he can mostly do a lot of this kind of himself and read through it himself. But what I love about The Good and the Beautiful, it is just that it is beautiful. So that's like my year 4's work. And then if we move over to my year 1's, this is what his is. And again, it's really simple. And we've got loads at the back, and it's just how I do it. So we've got completed work in these folders. And then, oh gosh, I've realised how much paper I have in here dividing everything. And then he's got his like lessons that he hasn't yet completed at the back. So that's his English. Let me see if I can show you like a proper, and they have like independent sections as well of bits that they have to do themselves. And then we've got, so then his maths, oh, then you've got handwriting sheets. These aren't free, you print these out and buy these separately, which I have done. But once you've bought them once, then you have the downloads forever, and you can consistently print them out. And then this is his maths. So again, my year 1's maths. And I don't know how different kind of the work is from a English point of view, but all the stuff so far I felt has been really helpful and useful. So this is his maths. Yeah. I've got all of their science curriculums upstairs. And I just wanted to show you one other thing, and it's this cookbook. Yes, I have random stuff up here. I know, my kids dump things everywhere. This cookbook, which is great to teach your kids how to cook. My eldest now just grabs this. He'll find something he wants to cook, and he'll check if he's got the ingredients, and then he'll just get it cooked. It's so super basic in some areas, like quite literally how to boil an egg, how to make scrambled eggs, omelets, and there's pictures. And yeah, this is a really, really good book. And my eldest in particular, has learned so much from this book. And he now can make a lot of these things himself. And it also has at the back, like, what things are, like, ways of cooking, what things mean. So what does kneading mean, baking techniques. So if your kids have never kind of cooked before, it can explain what specific things actually mean. And then, yeah, it's got everything in here. I really highly, highly recommend this book. But this is a great one to have as well. Another thing we actually have is we have a ton of board games. And I feel like board games are also a great way to learn as well. My kids are out in the garden, so it might not be easy to film this. But under our sofa, we have a huge amount of board games. Oh, and one of my kids' friends was looking for that. Great. But yeah, so board games I thought are a great, easy way to learn as well. There are a ton of other resources that I've heard either my friends use or we've used partially that are really affordable or completely free. One of them is the Oak National Academy, I think that's what it's called. I can't remember, the Oak Academy. I'll link it down below. But that was set up in COVID, and there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of videos of teachers have filmed lessons, and it's all throughout the key stages. You've got from key stage 1 through till secondary school, 6th form, I think. And it's split up by key stage, year, of like what year they're in at school and what subject, and they have everything on this. I do the maths and English through The Good and the Beautiful, and then anything else we often watch videos on that. Mostly my eldest son, so he'll watch like history videos, science videos, geography. There is everything you can think of under the curriculum, like the national curriculum, that you could watch there completely for free. And that has been a really great resource. That what we do is we'll do our maths and English lessons, and then A, if we've got time, or B, when we finish for the year, because we finish them normally, like my eldest is nearly completely finished his year of maths, I think. He's got like 5 more lessons, and then he's not far behind in English. Then we'll spend a couple of months just watching these videos and moving on in other subjects. So we tend to focus on maths and English for the majority part of the winter and the early parts of the year, and then the rest of the year we focus on other subjects. And we do that through the Oak Academy. Another one that people use that you can either have for free or you can pay for the subscription. EdPlace is one that another friend uses, and that is completely online, and I think, as far as I'm aware, she sets up her kids and tells them what subjects she has to do, and they just crack on and do it themselves, all through EdPlace. My kids don't get along doing like a lot of online stuff, so that didn't work for us. But it might for you guys, definitely worth checking out. There's Twinkl, which is I think a £5 a month subscription. You can access worksheets on pretty much everything and anything that you can print out from home for free. We don't have that anymore, but we did when my eldest was a bit younger. You can spend so much money on curriculums. We also do have quite a lot of the Good and the Beautiful science curriculums that we bought ages ago that we can print out again and restart at any point. Though I find they're really good, but my kids aren't crazy receptive to them, so maybe now that they're a bit older I can try them again. I don't know if you can see from where the camera angle is, we have a ton of books on so many different things. 100 things to know about my body. There's loads of atlases, weird but true facts, things. We have lots and lots of books. Books for me are the biggest way to learn, and such an easy thing for kids to just grab throughout the day. This is a good one if you have like inquisitive kids. And then a lot of the Open and Go books. We have a ton, not Open and Go, sorry, a lot of these See Inside books. We have a ton of these like See Inside books, and they're great for kind of ages, I'd say like 5 to 8. Even my 9-year-old now still finds them interesting. They've got loads of flaps, and they're really good, and we've got them on so many different subjects. Art, animals, London, maths, science, space, there's tons. But books are a great resource and they don't have to cost that much if you find them secondhand. And then in here, this is our homeschool cabinet, we have things like puzzles, which my middle son absolutely loves. He loves doing puzzles. Our kind of art supplies. So in here, it's all of our pens, colouring books, Play-Doh, stamps and painting bits in there as well. So that is what our homeschooling actual kind of sit-down learning looks like. However, we don't do a huge amount of it. We do a lesson of maths and English pretty much every weekday. Then when we finish that, like I said, we'll move on to science and history and all the other bits. But we really focus on extracurricular activities, and that is where we spend our money. And this is really personalised to whatever works for you and your family and whatever your budget is. You can find what I'm about to tell you all for free online. So please don't look at me and feel like you're not spending enough or you're spending too much. Like, everyone is so different. You can rein it in if you want to, and you can spend more if you want to, or if you can. There's so many options. One thing that my husband and I agreed on when we decided to homeschool that was like a non-negotiable was that we wanted our kids to learn a language and learn an instrument. And I feel like if you completely fail in all else in homeschooling, if they can speak another language and be fluent on an instrument as well, then worst comes to worst, they can be a Spanish and a piano teacher. So that is something that was our non-negotiables, and our kids do currently. My eldest is learning Spanish and piano. My youngest will be starting both probably in this next upcoming year. And they are things that we pay for. So we pay for Spanish lessons, which I'm going to look into trying to find a cheaper option, but my eldest really enjoys the one he has at the moment. We found our Spanish tutor through listening to the podcast Eat Your Spanish. If you're wanting your kids to learn Spanish, Eat Your Spanish is a really good place to start. And podcasts in general are great to have on in the car for your kids to listen to and just to learn as you're going out and about. There's a really good history podcast. If I can find it, I'll try and link that as well, that my kids like. We listened to the Eat Your Spanish podcast, and we started Spanish lessons through the people who run that. For 5 lessons, it is, because it's American, I have to work out how much it costs once you've transitioned from dollar, and I think it's about £120 for 5 30-minute lessons, which I can for sure find for cheaper. But my kid seems to be doing really well with these Spanish lessons. I'm umming and ahhing what I do there because I don't want him to go backwards. When my eldest is doing his Spanish lessons, my middle and youngest are watching Spanish TV because that's a great way to learn a language without even realising you're doing it. Then they also do piano, and that costs us about £50 to £60 a term. Then they do taekwondo and swimming lessons, which are both £30 per child per month. They also do football once a week during the week, and it's only £1 a session because that's like a community-based thing that makes it more affordable. So we probably spend on clubs about £300-ish a month, maybe a bit more, sometimes a bit less. And that will go up obviously once my middle is starting to do clubs and when my youngest is older. So I'm very much seeing that the extracurricular clubs will be becoming a lot more expensive during time as my kids get older. But they will also become less as well, because when my kids learn to swim, then we won't be paying for that, and it's kind of a balancing act. I would say as a maximum, homeschooling costs us at a maximum of all of the extracurricular activities, which people who send their kids to school will be paying for a lot of these extracurricular activities as well anyway. So you it swings and roundabouts. So even though I'm paying £300, £350 for extracurricular activities, people who send their kids to school probably spend not far off that as well. Curriculums and everything like that, I think we probably spend £400 a month on homeschooling as an absolute maximum. When your kids are in school up until year 2, they get free school meals, so we haven't been able to get any of that. And there are things like that we obviously have less of an income coming in because we homeschool, so we lose money in that aspect. But I find that homeschooling hasn't cost us a huge amount, and it's also in areas where I'm really happy to spend the money, like my kids learning Spanish and piano and doing things that they love. I will try and link everything down below. If you do have any questions or if I forgot to answer anything, please ask it. That's what we do. We do a lot of living is learning. When I decided to homeschool, I wanted to raise very capable children because I feel like most people come out of school very incapable. Sometimes they say things wrong. And the hate that I get in the comments for, oh, she's a homeschooling mum, her kids are going to fail because I said one thing wrong. And it's, what is the one word that everyone always comments on? And I don't realise I say it until I edit the videos. What is it that's going to really bug me? I can't remember, but there is something that I say that I don't realise I say until I edit the videos and I go, oh, I said it wrong. And people like to pick me up on that. I don't care though. a lot of budgeting with our children, getting our kids to help in the kitchen, cooking and cleaning. They have chores where they have to do their washing, they have to tidy their bedrooms, they have to do a lot of things that maybe other children wouldn't have the time or capacity to do when they're in school, which is teaching them how to live. So like a lot of growing up living is learning, and I get them to budget. If we're going to the shop, they have their pocket money, they are in charge of their money. They have to figure out how much they've got, see what they can afford. If they're buying something, they have to know if they have enough money for it, and deal with the cashier. And the problem I have with that is my eldest is very, very, very shy. He's a very shy boy, so sometimes it is very difficult, but the more he does it, the more he'll get used to it. People ask a lot, like, they think homeschooling is just school at home, and that is not the case. We spend perhaps an hour, maybe 2 of like sit down learning a day, and sometimes we don't do any, we just go out and have fun. But the rest of the time, we're doing activities, we're out and about, we're seeing friends, and we're cooking, we're cleaning, we're living our normal life. And I feel like you learn so much more just in the day-to-day living than you do at school personally. That's what I feel. Ask me down below if you have any questions, and I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in my next video. Bye friends!